Okay, sorry about that. Can you hear me now? Hopefully. Hopefully you can. I'll wait a few seconds so you can let me know. Thank you for going on, or I would have done this whole thing without. Yeah, without anybody being able to hear me. Anyone yet? Anyone? No? Okay, all good. All right, thank you very much. Sorry about that. So let me go back to what I was saying here. So the original data source, or sorry, the original visualization, I think it could use a better title. I do like how it's a 7-day average because it smooths out kind of that day-to-day variance. So yeah, other than that, I like it. The data source itself comes from the Bureau of Transportation Statistics. The original data set is looking at daily level of people passing through TSA checkpoints. I couldn't find that data, so I just grabbed monthly data from the Bureau of Transportation Statistics of passengers on flights. So it should be pretty close, I would think. It's not going to be, you wouldn't be able to tie the numbers or anything because I couldn't find the exact data set, but the topics should still be pretty good. Okay. The data itself, if I look down here, we can see we have number of passengers, information about the airlines, the origin, the destination, the year, and the month. Okay, so I'm going to I've gone ahead and already created an extract here because otherwise it'd be pretty slow. It's a pretty big data set. I was trying to include 31 years, but the file was too big for data.world, so I had to limit it to just, what, I think 21 years or something like that. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at a bunch of time series charts. So, okay. All right. So I'm going to actually, so I have a year field and a month field. So I'm going to go ahead and create a date because I like Tableau's date hierarchy. So I'm just going to call it date. And I'm going to use the make date function, pass in the year and the month, and then the day, which I'm just going to set to the first. And there we go. So now I can look at the years, 2000 through 2021. And we can see we got the big drop here in 2020. I want to verify that I have every month. So this data goes through Q4, and then let me split it out by months. And let's see here. So the data only goes through October, so we don't have November and December, but that's okay. We can still play around with it a bit. So yeah, so this is just a simple line chart. Let me make this maybe continuous months so we can see the big dips. So you can see it's pretty cyclical. We've got July, August, July. So people like to travel in the summer and probably, so March, that would probably be spring break. I'm surprised we don't see a spike at Christmas, but I guess that's what the data shows. And we can see here September 11th was another big drop, but not nearly what it was as far as COVID. So in April 2020, there were only 3 million passengers. And just 2 months before that, there were 89 million. So that's just such an incredible decrease. It looks like things are rebounding a bit. So we're back up to 31 million, but still far below the 38 million, which was the previous low ones in September of 2001. Okay, we also have, let's see, what else could we look at? So that's just a simple line chart. Let me go ahead and duplicate there. Now I'll just do a new sheet. I'm going to look at maybe a cycle plot. So a cycle plot would have the date and then I'm going to have month. And I'm going to switch these around. So let's put passengers on the rows. And I'm going to swap those around and fit entire view. And this allows us to see the monthly trends across the, let's see, so this is looking at, for each month, it's looking across the years. And what you'll often see is you'll see an average line for each pane. And this just kind of shows you, this helps sort of hopefully maybe see some sort of curve. So if we can see that it picks up in March and then it goes through the summer and then kind of back down. Nothing particularly interesting though, so that's I would say that's not really worth looking at. Okay, we could also maybe look at what was the other thing I was just thinking about? Shoot. I forget what I was looking at, what I was thinking about. Okay, we could maybe look at a heat map. For this time, I'm just gonna, oh yeah, let's do the date, and let's put quarter here and change this to months. And if we just put passengers on color, we get a nice little heat map here. We can see the big drop off happening in 2020. I wonder if I should flip it around. Yeah, that looks a bit better that direction, I think. So that looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and maybe put some borders on it because I just like those on my let's see, on my heat maps. So I'm going to hide the field labels. All right, so I think that's okay so far. One of the other things, so this is just a regular heat map. And maybe what I'll do is I'm going to duplicate this, and I'm going to look at this as maybe a month-over-month number. So I'm going to add a table calc, percent difference from, and we want to do, let's see, relative to, let's see. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to build it this way first. So add table calc, edit table calc. We want to do, right, so we're going to do it by year and then month. And now if I move that here, we can read this in kind of an N pattern. No, let's see, this would be a Z pattern. So we can see there was a big jump in May of 2020, a big dip in March of, yes, this isn't very useful either, but I thought it might be, this is giving me month over month heat map. But this might actually look better if I maybe make this a line chart instead. So what does this look like if I do, let me just do it like this, continuous month. And let's edit the table calc. And let's do it by month relative to, oops, wrong field. So I want to do continuous months. Okay, there we go. So this is showing us the month over month change. Again, nothing, if I change this to bars, what will it look like? Yes, we could see kind of the month over month spikes, March, October, yeah. Okay. But this does help show the dramatic changes on, so if I label my min and my max, there we go, so we could see it went down 92% and came up 160% a month later. But, you know, you would have to sort of compare that with the line chart because this has the absolute values where this has this is doing the percent change. So if let me show you, if I duplicate this and I make this just a difference from instead of percent difference from, you'll see it's quite a bit different. So we could see this is our month over month change. So things change, things are a bit different here. So the peak here was March. Yeah, so I think I like the bottom one better. I find the top one's a bit misleading. So, okay, so this is our month over month change. Okay. By the way, if you have any questions along the way, feel free to post them in the chat and I'll do my best to answer them. Okay, so that's our kind of month over month change. One other thing we could look at, let's see, if we put year across the view, this might, and then let me put month here. And let me see, I want to do passengers on size and make them circles. Okay, so let's increase the size here. And let me flip this around. No, I was hoping that, so let's fit width. I'm trying to do like a circle timeline, but it doesn't look very good. So maybe not. So January, let me increase the size again. So if I put year here and month here, how does that look? Yeah, so that's not really telling me much either. Okay, so this is our circle timeline. So far, I kind of like this one, so I'm going to color that one. And I don't like that heat map. I don't mind. This heat map's okay. That's just a line chart, so that's nothing. What I could do here maybe is, what if I add a moving average? So that's a 3-month moving average. What if I did like a 6-month moving average? Okay. So that doesn't really tell me a whole lot different other than it's sort of smoothed the data out a bit, but it looks like it just kind of shifts it. So what if I make it a 12-month moving average? Yeah, okay, that's not very good. All right, not very useful. What else could we do? Let's see. We could look at, well, we've got lots of location information. We'll get to that in a minute. Just trying to think if there's any other chart types that might look useful. If I did, what if I do destination country? So these are all of the countries things are going to, and the origin country. And then what if I put passengers on color and entire view? Oh, what the heck? Yeah, so they're mostly going to be US flights. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that my, let's see, not that. I'm going to do I'm going to only look at flights that started and ended in the US. So US. Our origin country. Okay, now we get one dot. Okay, that's fine. So now I'm gonna, yeah, I can't hide that. Let's do state, destination state, origin state. Let's see what that does for us. Okay, so flights within California, flights within Texas. What the heck is TT? Virgin Islands. I don't know what that is. So let me do, I don't know what TT is, so I'm going to look it up. Oh, Pacific Trust Territories and Possessions. Okay, learn something new every day. Hadn't heard of that. Okay, so this heat map doesn't really tell me a whole lot either. But I could build maybe a route field. And this is going to be my origin plus destination. And I'm going to maybe look at the, let's see, passengers. Okay, so LAX to San Francisco and the reverse, LA to JFK, 27 million passengers. Okay, so these are the top routes. FLL, what airport is FLL? Oh, this was a bad idea. FLL, that is, oh, Fort Lauderdale. Oh, that's a short flight too. That's a lot of people for a short flight. Okay. Let's see, is there anything interesting in terms of, okay. So EK says, always thinks of comparing same month from last year is more intuitive. Well, it depends. I'm just looking the month over month change. If I wanted to look at the, let's say I wanted to look at the, so you're saying to look at the month over month from the prior year. So if I were going to do that, I would let's see, make this a month. I would do something like this and make it a, maybe make this, so let's add a table calc, and this would be maybe difference from pane across. Okay, so this would give us a, let me make this continuous. So this view now gives us the this gives us the month over month. Let me make it smaller. There we go. So this gives us the same month versus prior year. So we could see like just January 2002 was 5 million fewer passengers than January 2001. I think that's what you mean there. Okay. So Simon, is there anything interesting in terms of sectors, domestic and international passengers? There might be. You could, if you're wanting to look at, let me see. So if you're wanting to look at domestic versus international, what I would probably do is have the any flights that originate in the U.S. would be, or flights that are within the U.S. would be, like if the destination, if the origin and destination are both the U.S., that would be domestic, and otherwise it would be international. So that's probably how I would do it. It'd be cool if the airline was included to compare different company strategies toward COVID. Yeah, so the airline is in here. So we've got the carrier name. So this tells us the biggest carriers. So, you know, if you wanted to, like, let's say we want to look at the, let me let me create a filter here. So carrier name. I want to create a set. This is going to be my, let me see, top. Let me just do the top 10 carriers for now. So top 10 based on passengers. If I put that on here, I should just get the 10. Okay, that's good. But what we could maybe do is maybe go back to this line chart. Let me get rid of the, okay, so now we're just on our line chart, and we could look at maybe the top 10 carriers. Okay, and then if I put carrier name onto, I'm just going to put, I know we're going to get 10 colors, but so you can see they all basically went down to 0. The patterns look relatively similar. Let me do it this way. Let me, so let's sort by the field descending passengers. Okay, so American Airlines, so what the heck happened here? Maybe they took over another airline. Oh, I think American Airlines merged with US Air or something like that. But this isn't really helpful because it's only looking at this is the top 10 of all time. So it's not really helping us because some of these get chopped off here. So I would want them to also, so if I edit my top 10 carriers, if I edit my set, and I would want to say something like, no, so that's my top 10 carriers. But I only want to look at carriers that have maybe flown flights in 2020. So let me try that. So year 2020. So let me try this. So if I did let's see, so when I create a calculated fee, let me just put carrier here, passengers. And I only want to look at the top 10 that had flights in 2020. Okay, so 2020 passengers. So I want to say something like for each carrier, I'm going to say sum if year equals 2020, then passengers. Okay, so this should give me the same numbers. So it gives me the same numbers. So if I take the year off the field, and then what I could do now is I could change my set to, instead of doing it by passengers, I could do it by 2020 passengers. Okay, let's see what that does. So top 10 carriers. Okay, so let's see, where was I here? I think it was back here. Yeah, okay, so now we can see the top carriers in 2020. Or I'm using my top 10 based on those that had flights in 2020. So I'm going to make this a sparkline and just kind of see if they all sort of follow the same pattern. So fit height, oops, fit height, there we go. So they all look like they follow the same pattern. I don't know if that's what you were speaking about there, Simon, or no, that was sorry, that was Garth's question. Could we show an interesting origin to destination map, most common destinations for a given origin and vice versa? So I have calculated I have done the most popular routes. That's this here. Could also do the top, the top routes for 2020 or something like that. Okay. So yeah, these are the most popular routes. Could we do an origin to destination map? So to do an origin to destination map, I would need to add in geographic data. I can do that. So let me edit my data source. And I need to bring in a data set that I have that is, it has the latitude and longitude for each, yeah, it's called the Global Airport Database. If you just Google that, you'll find it. Okay, and then what I need to do, so let's open, and I want to bring that in. And this is going to be my destination. Go to my airport code. Okay, and I'm going to just, let's see, airport code. So I don't need, I can hide that. Maybe I'll keep airport name because I don't think I have that. City, I can hide. Country, I can hide. Altitude, we probably don't need that, so I'm going to hide. Latitude and longitude. Okay, so this is going to be my, this will be my destination airport name. Destination latitude. Destination longitude. And then I need to join it again for the origin. So let's see, origin to airport code. Okay, and so airport code, hide. Origin. Okay, so that'll give us the, let's see, it might need to extract it again. Okay, sorry, it's going to take a second to create the extract. Let me look at your questions while we're doing that. So source and destination, domestic market has rebounded quicker than the international market. Yeah, so Simon, you could definitely look at that. That's a good idea. Is there an analysis possible for most popular route right when the passenger count jumped drastically? I'm not sure what you mean by that, Ashish. Do you mean what do you mean by jumped drastically? And for the most popular, I mean, you could easily look at the routes by over time and see. So in 2020, when it jumped, I assume you mean increased, the big increase. what were the most popular flights? Yeah, you could do that for sure. You would need to get maybe the top 10 routes, something like that, and then filter down to just 2020. Maybe I think that's what you're saying. But now we need to just wait for this data to import. So let's give it a second. Okay. It'll finish eventually. So I'm wondering if at some point, I need to start thinking about the design of this dashboard or of whatever I'm going to create. So, it might be useful to maybe have the total passenger count for 2020 and compare it to the same period prior year or something like that. Yeah, maybe that'll work. Okay, so now we have that. So, well, first off, there's one thing you can do is you can airport destination. So I can make that an airport. So Tableau has a built-in airport database. Now we're going to get some that it doesn't know based on the airport codes. So if you know them, you can pick them in here. I don't recognize any of those numbers. I could also do the origin instead. Let's see. Well, that's not good. Oh, I need to make this airport. Okay, so you can easily just map airport codes if you want. And then let's say I wanted to look at the number of passengers on size, something like that. And we'll see the largest airports in the US. So I don't know why there's an airport over here. Why does that have? Because I filtered out. Interesting, destination country is US. Origin DW. Okay, so it has some airports that it looks like it has in the wrong place. Okay, let me just zoom in here so we can look at this. Okay, there we go. So now we could see where this is the biggest airports, so busiest airports of the entire data set. Yeah. Okay, so that's that. Okay. In general, how do you pick the charts for Makeover Monday? Does this come from what you read in the news? So, Dan, do you mean just the topics in general, or do you mean how do I pick the charts that I create? But anyway, let's get to the map that you were asking about. So, what I'm going to first do, so I'm going to call this my origin point. And because we have the latitude and longitude, we can use this make point function. And I believe this function, make point, it goes latitude then longitude. So I'm going to put in origin latitude, comma origin longitude. And now if I double click on that, okay, looks like it might take a second to create the points. I don't know why this would take much time at all. Okay, there we go. So this is now showing me where all the airports are based on their geocode. We have like 00 here, but notice how they all highlight when I hover over. That's because down here on the bottom left, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but on the bottom left of my screen, on the status bar on Tableau, you see it's one mark. Because it's a spatial object, Tableau it'll just display all of them at the same time, but only as one mark. So if I want to split it up, I would need to maybe put origin on detail, and then we should get our, however many marks that is. Come on. Yeah, and there's something here in the UK which can't be right. So there's something that's probably miscoded in the database. Okay, so now we've got 441 marks. It still looks the same, but we just added some detail to it. So let me look at this here. Let's see. CLF Airport. Where's our origin? Is Clear, Alaska. Okay. Was it at CLF? CLF. Origin city. Okay. Well, oh, these are old, so maybe it's not even open anymore. Okay. But the coding looks like it's wrong. It's probably where the positive and negative are reversed or something. Okay, so yeah, we could do it like that, but we need to now create a point for our destination. What did I call the first one? Destination point. So this weekend make point, destination latitude, destination longitude. And now that I have both of those, let me clear this sheet. I'm going to create another calculated field. That's my route path or flight path. It's not necessarily the flight path. Maybe that's not the right thing. I don't know. I'll call it flight path. Don't really care. So we can now do make line. And I'm going to do the start and the end. So the start is going to be my origin point. And the end is going to be my destination point. And now I have another spatial object, and this was probably not the best idea, so let me cancel that. I'm going to first filter down the data to make sure that I can just show you what it does first. Oh boy, I hope I didn't mess something up now. Okay. So Simon, further to year over year, can you quickly show how to use a parameter to allow the user to select which year month they want to see the year over year compared to? Okay, so can you quickly show how to use a parameter to allow the user to select which year month they want to see the year over year compared to? I don't quite understand. Do you mean to have basically that particular month and year every other month compares to that month and year? Is that what you mean, Simon? Okay, so and also regarding the data sets, I have a bunch of things that I subscribe to, but I also look through the news and try to find things that are topical to keep it interesting for people. And I hope I didn't just crash Tableau. Oh, there we go. Okay, so let's clear the sheet. And I better save. That'd probably be a good idea. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just filter down to maybe the Atlanta airport for my origin, so I can show you what that make line function is going to do. So origin Atlanta is ATL. Okay, and now if I do my flight path, okay, there we go. So this is what the make line function does now. Notice I still only have one mark because I haven't told Tableau how to split up the view. So I would need to put the our route that we created onto detail. Okay, now I have 223 flights that come out of Atlanta. So some of them are mislabeled here. ABY, ABQ. That's weird. Why would it? Okay. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my destination. Let me see if I can do this. So I'm going to call this continental US. Oops, that's the wrong field. Well, I'll worry about that later. I'm not quite sure why some of these are 0. But what I can do is I'm just going to click on it and exclude it. Okay. Oops. Okay, there we go. And these look like they go to the Hawaiian Islands. Maybe I'll get rid of those. I just want to do flights that are like within the continental US. This makes the map look better. Okay, there we go. So this is all flights out of Atlanta for the entire time period. Maybe I could put number of passengers, or I can just put maybe 2020 passengers. What is this again? This is carrier. Doesn't really matter. Put that on size. And I should be able to see the most popular routes based on the size, but I need to just adjust this. Okay. Okay, well that's not very useful. Okay, because there's a lot of them are the same thickness. Oh, no, it's because I'm using the wrong field. So year, come on, 2020 and passengers. Okay, there you go. So we can see kind of the most popular route is probably to New York if I had to guess. It's kind of hard to, there we go, Newark, Chicago, I don't know, anyway. If I make these lines, do they look better? And then I can put route on path. Nope, okay, that doesn't work. I just don't like the kind of sharp ends to these routes. But anyway, that's how you can create a origin to destination map if you wanted to. So Simon, I selected January 2020, and the viz then also shows January 2019 as a comparator. But what about something like, what do you do with February of 2020 then? Just not quite sure what you mean. Okay, what else could we do here? The most popular routes in the passenger count jumped. So to look at the most popular routes when it jumped dramatically. So let me see here. Where was that? We did that somewhere here. I think this one here. So this is nope, this one, nope. I could have sworn that we had done. So this is the number of passengers. Okay, let me just duplicate this. No, that's by month by year. Yep, that's right. That's what we want. Okay, let me make this. Let me make this one. Let's see, discrete. Put this here. And then let's make this one continuous. Okay, and we want this to be compute using table across. Okay, so we've got the big drops here. So I'm not quite sure what you mean by the big drop, Ashish. So, or the big jump. I'm not quite sure what you mean by that, because this is just my change month over month. Yeah. Okay. Maybe we should now look at. So we've got the top 10. Where is that? So this is my route. Come on. Okay, so where are we here? So this is my top 10 carriers. And what I could do, so that's my total passengers. And what if I looked at, let's see, I'm going to rename this one. 2020 passengers by carrier. And then so in this case, I'm going to say year equals 2020 int. It's going to turn the true. So year 2020 is going to return either a true or a false. An int will turn a true into a 1, and I'm going to multiply that by passengers. So I'll get, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make this a combined axis, and I can put measure names onto color. And let's put 2020 in front, and then I want to unstack them. Okay. Okay, so this shows you kind of what percentage 2020 made up of the overall. So let me maybe make that like that just to see what it looks like. Okay. So it shows you kind of 2020. Oh no, but we don't have full data for 2020. That's okay. So maybe that's not useful. Let's see, I had where was my spark line? This is my carriers. What if I get rid of the carrier? Okay, so we've got the carriers. We could then look at, let's duplicate, no, let's just create a new, yeah, we can duplicate this. And let's call this one top 10 routes. And instead of top 10 carriers, I want to have 2020 by carrier, duplicate 2020 passengers by route. And this I'm going to put route here instead. Okay. And now I want to look at, where's my routes here? Default properties, or let's say create a set. So this would be my top 10 routes. Let's say I want to do top 10 by 2020 passengers by route. So I'm just going to swap that out here. And I'm going to put route onto rows, add all, and sort descending. Okay, so they all basically had this really small number of routes compared to you know, the total data set. So that's okay. So that's my top 10 routes. So we've got carriers, airports, the year, the route. I could maybe just look at the 2020 passengers. And then, but this is through how many months? How many months was this through? This was through October. So I'd want to look at, okay, so I'd want to look at, and then let's look at, let's duplicate this. This would be my 2019. Okay, but I want to limit it to just through October. Okay, so we get those two, and then I want to create a calculated field that is my 2020 versus 2019. So that's going to be 2020 minus 2019. Put that on text, and then let's do and this time I'm going to do that divided by 2019. Default properties, number format. Right. So now we have, okay, 2020 passengers. It's a decrease of 50. Okay, so that looks right. So I'm going to get rid of that. Get rid of that. Put measure values there. Measure names on text. And then what does this look like here? So I don't want to do that. I want to have why am I drawing a blank here? So I want both of these onto detail. Okay. Okay, so let's say okay, so let's make this maybe okay. So down 59%. So I think I can probably default properties, number format. Let me make it just round it. That's fine. So we're down 59% versus prior year. Okay. All right, so I can now just move these both to detail. Well, I guess I really didn't have to do it in the title. I could just, let me just undo. Okay, so this would be my and then maybe I could look at maybe I look at the let's see, date, and let's make this month, year on color, and I want to look at just the 2019 and 20, and I want to put passengers onto rows. Okay, so this is showing us the 2020 versus 2019 passengers. Okay. All right, so let me, what if I make this a running total? That doesn't look very good. Okay, so maybe what I should do instead is I'm going to put, let's see, let me get rid of that. I'm going to put 2020 passengers here, make it a bar. I'm going to put 2019 passengers on detail and add that as a reference line. Okay. Okay. And then what I could do is I could just put this on to color, and then I'll just make this 2 colors. Let's see, what colors could we do? Well, it doesn't really matter. Red and black. So negative, let's make that maybe a red. And let's make this maybe a gray. Oh, yeah, I think that's what I want to do. I'm just trying to show here the months that had a big decrease. And then what I'll do also is I'll put this onto the label. Nope, undo. We want to put the percent onto the label. And let's get that to match the mark color. Let's make it bold. Okay, so this is giving me my, this is my monthly passengers. Okay, in a way I was thinking of focusing on comparison piece. Okay. So Simon, this is kind of how I would compare 20. This is sort of how I would do a year over year. I think it's a bit more clear than, but you know, we could do something like, let's say that I want to have the year, and I think you were meaning to do it kind of like this, and then let's put passengers here, and let's just make them bars. Okay, so fit entire view. So what I could do is I could let me put that onto detail. I'm going to do this probably the quickest way I can think of. So I'm going to create a parameter. Okay, and month parameter, that's fine. Let's do all. And then if I show this parameter, I can add a worksheet action. Update month parameter. And don't worry about being fast, Simon. I've been doing this for a very long time, so don't put any pressure on yourself. So keep current value. Okay, so now when I click on a bar, it's going to switch everything. Well, that didn't work very well. Worksheet actions. I think I messed something up. So yeah, month, keep current value. No aggregation. I think that's what I want to do. There we go. So what I could do now is I can compare every month to that particular month. So what I would need to do is, I think that's what you mean, brief here in the back and current in the front. What I could do is, so I have the month, and I now need to create a calculated field. That's the passengers for selected month. And I'm going to say month equals month parameter. Wrap that whole thing in integer. Multiply that by, so that's going to give me the number of passengers for the month I chose. So you see if I put that on the rows, I'm going to get just that particular month. Oh, I need to swap these around. I think that's what you wanted. And now if I wanted to compare every value to that, so let's call this passengers versus selected month. I would do passengers minus that one. And if I put that onto the rows, I now get something like that. But that doesn't quite look right because I'm not seeing any negatives. So, okay, that's because I need to passengers for selected month. This needs to be fixed on year, and then doesn't matter. Okay, there we go. So you can see how all this is now showing me. This is now showing me how all it within each year how does the flights compare to June? So if I want to pick maybe like February, for example, everything will now switch to compare to February. Is that what you mean, Simon? I'm not quite sure if I'm understanding you correctly. But maybe if I make this like this instead, let me try this, and then make it a line. I want to do continuous months, and make this a line. Oh no, that's not going to work. Come on. So this should be year, month. No, we want it like that. No, away. So year, month. So this is comparing everything to the, I think I'm misunderstanding the question again. Oops. Yeah, but I think I'm doing it not the way that you want. Yeah, I think this is the way you want to do it, but you want to look at for each month. I think you want to look at, so I think I need to switch this around to be years. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna stop there with that one. So I've got my number of passengers, my total passengers. I've got my monthly passenger count. Monthly passenger count. I could also maybe look at where were the top 10 routes. So this is the top 10 routes 2020 versus, maybe I should make this other one 2019. Okay, and then analysis stack marks off. Okay, that's fine. But this should also be, I don't need the year. Let's see. The month should only be through October. Okay, so it's actually not too bad. So some of these were down 50%. So MCO to Atlanta, what is that airport? Come on. MCO is Atlanta to Orlando. Okay, so I want to sort these by the field descending 2019 passengers. There we go. So this is comparing 2019 to 2020. Is that correct? So let me just try this 20, let's see, it was MCO to ATL route. Okay, and if we look at, switch these around. Okay, let me try it like this. Well, let's see. I'm making this much more difficult than I need to. So, okay, so let's put month onto color. Oh, wrong way around. Put year on color. Okay, so we can see we've got 48,000 passengers here, and we have 129,000 there. Okay, so something's not right with this sheet. What happened here? I think I lost something along the way. Oh, my top 10 routes. Okay, so this is not the right number. So 440,000 top 10 routes. Let's edit this filter. 10, 20, 20 by route. Route year equals 20 times. Okay, so that's right. So why am I getting a different number? Oh wait, that's because I'm adding them all together. Okay, that's right. Okay, so I can now do the same thing for the carriers. So month. And let's put year. Oh, I don't need to do that. Let's put 2019 passengers here. And then let's sort by descending 2019 passengers. Okay, there we go. Okay, so that's good. So we've got those two. All right, so we've got our top 10 carriers. Maybe wonder what the heat map looks like. So let's just look at. Okay, that's nothing. That's not very useful. So I'm going to remove the color from that. The month over month change. So we've got that. We've got that. Top 10 routes. I could maybe. Come on. Okay, so let's do top 10 routes. Okay, origin, we don't care. So Garth, would you say tableau training videos on their website are the best reason? So I'd recommend you use the Tableau Starter Kit. That's actually the best resource, I think. If you just Google Tableau Starter Kit, you'll see that. Okay. I hope I didn't just crash Tableau again. It should just be drawing me. This is probably a bad idea. What I was trying to do is trying to show all flight paths. It should only be showing me 10 routes. Why is it taking so long? This should be really quick. I'm afraid to cancel it. Okay. Any other questions while I wait for this to cancel? Thanks for all the feedback here today. It's been really good. I'm just trying to decide what I want to create. Oh, okay, did it stop? Okay, good. So let me do my top 10 routes and do my, where is it, my flight path. Okay, that's what I thought. I thought this would be quick. Okay, so that's not very interesting at all. Okay, so I see one mark. If I put my route onto detail, add all, I should just get 10 marks now. This should be like instantaneous. I don't know why this is taking so long. Okay, I'm just going to cancel that because it's not really useful. Okay, so let's see. So what could I do here? So let me just give some space here. So I'm going to first add in my big number. Oh, maybe I'll do this. Okay, let me just do let me see here. Oh, come on, this is so annoying. Yeah, it's a big data set, but still, it shouldn't be slow. It's very, very frustrating. I mean, it's only 8 million records. That's not a really big data set, I wouldn't say. Okay, let me go over here. So I'm thinking, oops. Okay. So let me just use this dashboard as a sketch. So we're going to have, let me just delete some of these things out of here. Okay, nah, forget it. I'll just lay it out. Okay, so let me cancel that. So I think what I'm going to do then is look at, what is that here for? Right, so if I have this, I'm going to move these back into the title. Okay, and then that's going to add detail and detail. Okay, and then what I want to do now is I'm going to have maybe by month. Where is my date field? And I'm going to put my 2020, let's see, yep, through October, that's good. And then 2019 passengers, 2020 passengers. Okay, so notice what happened here on my header. It's now giving me the range of values, so I just need to wrap this in a level of detail expression. Oops. Okay. No, that's not what I want here, though. This should be for my, let's see. No, I don't need that. Undo. Okay, I'm just going to write another calculate field. I want to aggregate my 2020. And sum. So it's just going to give my total 2020 passengers. Okay, let's put that on here. And then let's duplicate. This is going to be my total 2019 passengers. So I'm having to do this as a level of detail expression so that I can get my titles to work correctly. So 2019 passenger, or nope, that's fine. So I want 2020 here. I want my total passengers here. Okay. And then let's duplicate this. And then, come on. So this would be my 2020 minus my 2019 divided by my total 2019 passengers. Okay, so let's put that here. Okay, so now I need to fix this. So this is going to be my 2020 passengers. That like 22, tableau, semi-bold. And then this one is going to be my 2020 versus, there we go. Oh God, it's so annoying. Okay, so down 66%, is that right? Oh, I need to add this to context. There we go, 59%. And then I can hide that. and then I can make the unit. So this is now a nice little, so let's format this. Let's make it the first letter. Okay, and that's good. Let's just call this, and I'm going to put, let's see, so on the label, I want to put the year on the label. Let's see if that breaks anything. It does. Right, so let's undo that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to okay. So this will be my forget it. I'll figure that out later. Okay, so that gives us those. We've got that. What else? We've got the top 10 routes. This is like very uninteresting. Come on. I think I used that red, and I used that gray. And then this is very shouty. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so that's that. Don't need that. So if I make this my top 10, yeah, okay. Maybe I should make this month. No, that's not going to work. Okay, that's fine. So let me just start throwing some ideas together here. So let me delete this. Sorry, this is going on way, way, way too long. Okay. 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 I'll come up with a better title. So I could put another blank in here as a placeholder. So I've got these two charts. Okay, so let's look at, let's put horizontal container in here with my two sheets. So this is going to be my ban, and then that. Okay. I don't know, 250. That's fine. Okay. Okay, and then let me put a nice little border around this one. Oops. Let's see, I'm going to do 10. Okay, so first letter. All right, so oops. Okay, well, that didn't go very well. Why did the worksheet not go white? Oh, I did it in the wrong place, so this should be white. This one needs to be white. Okay. Right. Then now I have my, let me put another container in here. This is going to be more like a report than anything else, but let me just see, top 10 carriers, top 10 routes. So let me get rid of, let me put a text box at the bottom. Bureau, B-R-U, how do I spell it? B-U-R-E-A-U, I always get that wrong. Transportation statistics. Okay. Now this one, so this would be, let's set layout, white, border is, what did I do? I think that one. Okay, yellow padding is 0. Ten. What did I do on this one? 10. Yep. Okay, and then so this needs to have, let's see, 10 and then 5, 0. Let's see, so 0, 10, 5, 10. Okay, there we go. Okay. Okay, so I know I'm not really talking much now, but one question on the mapping. If I want to show routes between countries rather than airports, would I just use a capital cities from the pin? I mean, you could use capital cities. I mean, you could just use the airports as well. You could connect the airports. If you're going to do country to country, you'd have to get maybe like the centroid of the country or something like that. Okay, so let's edit this title. Top 10. Okay, let me format this. I'm wondering if, okay. Okay. All right, so that cleans that up a bit. Let's see, so let me format this. Let's get rid of the 0 line. Let's get rid of the axis rulers. Okay, same thing here, no 0 line, no axis rulers. Okay, I do like having these on here so I can see the reference lines. Okay, so those are our top carriers. This is like a very uninteresting data visualization, but that's okay. I need to get done. I've got things to do. Okay. Don't like that. All right, and I've got these colors in the background again, so let's remove, delete. Maybe I should pick a different color, maybe like that gray. Just for the title. Oh. Okay. Now this is going to be confusing because it says 2020 versus 2019, but that's not what the colors mean. So okay, so yeah, I don't love it. Let me try this label. Okay, I think I'm going to stop there. Okay. Any questions? I think I need to be done. I've got some things I need to do. I might make it a bit like that. Let me make this taller. Okay, I think that's a bit better. All right. Yeah, it's not really analysis, but it's a. I need to clean up the tooltips. I'll do that later. I don't want to hold you to this. This bottom one's fine with the tooltips. The top one looks a bit funky, so I need to probably put. Let's see. Let me create custom date. Nice. Okay, there we go. So I can. Okay, what do you have now? Total 2020 passengers. I don't need that. Okay, that's good enough. And this one, I should do the same thing here, but then on the tooltip. Okay. Okay. All right, I think that's it. I hope you all have a wonderful evening, and I will see you next week. Have a good day.